Okay, now we should have sound. Okay, let's start again then with the sound I was playing. So now everything should be working. Yeah, we today we did some rehearsal for the live gig which we will have in Belgium, in Ghent, close to Ghent, which is also no voice. I think the voice should be there now. Yes, it's there, and it's in FM. Which also has this brand, this beer brand. So it's close to Antwerp. It's called the Antenna Festival. Okay, so today I want to talk about creating a pad sound from scratch. We did that some years ago with Blue 2. We created a string pad sound, and I thought, yeah, maybe today it's a nice idea to create a pad sound from scratch. And there are two ways you can do it with, for instance, B.I.T or B.I.T. Of course, you might be curious about B.I.T too. Well, I can mention that maybe next week I can show you B.I.T too, because we have the graphics now. John is adding all the graphics, and that works pretty nice. We have a little bit of a setback in terms of the Mac and the Anchor S, because we have some troubles with, if you have the Mac computer M1 and there's an update for the Anchor S Complete Control and the Machine 2. They run now native, and we have a bug, so it doesn't load the preset. So we need to fix that for all the instruments on the Mac. It doesn't influence the PC version, but on the Mac we have an issue in Complete Control and Machine 2 if they run not in Rosetta mode but the native M1 mode. So Sajik is diving into it, and we hope to have a sooner solution. And of course we start down with the Blue 3 release of the Anchor S. So that's a little bit of a thing which is having a little bit of delay, but this B.I.T too, everything goes smooth, and the whole work with the Mac also delayed the Prisma thing. And although we have Prisma, it's what I mentioned last, we have some graphic issues we need to solve. But yeah, currently there's much on our hands to fix these things, but hopefully we will release it very soon. And then so that came in between. So that did delay the Anchor S of Blue 3 is delayed because of the M1 issues we have with Complete Control, and therefore then also the the release of Prisma, unfortunately, because Prisma works nice, but we have some graphic glitches which we need to fix, of course. So today I thought, let's make some noise. We go to B.I.T. Here's my personal folder. There we have a default preset. And today it's about creating a pad sound, a classic analog pad sound, which I would create, for instance, in a Jupiter 8 or a virtual analog like a B.I.T or maybe a Virus. So then I will show you how you could create a pad sound, or at least how I do it. And I see in the meantime that we have some. Oh, the headline is wrong. I can see it. 16 March. Haha. Yeah, that's a good one. So I don't think I can edit that one yet. I will do after the stream, of course. It should be 23, and it has the wrong headlines also. Okay, let me see if I can press it. Let me see. String pad sounds. Yeah, maybe I can edit it. That will be funny. Oh, save. Oh, I could change the date. Cool. Yeah, we see Tom. Tom did send in also a demo song. We have a demo song also from First Byte, so that's cool. And Tom also... Tom, is it okay that I share your setup, which you're building for your computer? Tom is building his own furniture for the computer. And before I show then Tom his setup, so before I create this pet sound, I want to show you my setup, which you see, which I see when I'm streaming. So here I made a picture. I share this also on Instagram and on Facebook. Here, okay, so I make it a little bit bigger. And this is here where you can see where I sit down. You see my keyboard is a little bit more up. So it's below it, I have the computer keyboard. And then here you see my mouse with a cushion here, which sometimes I drop this little thing here. I dropped that by accident. So then you see the microphone. Here's the microphone. And then you see the webcam here. You see the webcam. Okay, so here's my mouse. So here we have a webcam, which is on my face. We have the microphone. And up here we have also an extra webcam for the keyboard. So you see, sometimes you see people have a keyboard one position lower, and above the keyboard they have the computer keyboard. But I have it the other way around. That's for me more comfortable in my way of working. So I have the computer keyboard here and the mouse, and above that I have the stand with the keyboard, the main keyboard. And you see, it's an older stand I'm using. That's a very old one. I think that one is at least 50 years old, which I did construct this way that it would work, and this works nicely. And you see behind it, you see a little window, which, because I have a basement studio, that's up here, a little window just below this webcam. And then you see my two speaker sets, the classic Yamaha Understand and the Audio BM50. So this is how I sit and do my daily work here, and now streaming to you guys. So so let me show you what Tom is creating. This is what Tom did send, and that looks good as well. It's not painted yet. So Tom, are you going to paint it? So this is Tom. He's building outside here. You see some racks. I think this will be for his keyboard and so on. Very nice. But I wonder, are you painting it or do you cover it with a kind of material? So let us know. So this is the things Tom is building, and he is very, very good, very handy. I can see. Cool, Tom. And I can see here a little thing for the bird. So this is a bird thing here. Oh, I put clear on it. Yeah. Carpet paint or something, which I use on the carpet for wood paint. Yeah, cool. I like the structure always from the type of plates, the wood plates, which all the wood things. Yeah, polyurethane. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, the advantage is there are many things you can buy, but sometimes it's not always suitable for everybody. So if you can have the option to construct your own setup, and that's the same what I did, only I used then a different way, then it's even better, because all the furniture which is predefined, sometimes it doesn't suit everybody. So that's what you can see with my setup, is that it's what I mean is that I have the keyboard in a kind of angle and above the computer keyboard. So this is different from what you see from furniture, but that's the way I like to work. And yes, I drop very often this thing. The mouse I don't drop that much, so but it's only this little cushion, which is good for your wretched here, so that you don't get some pain on your bones if you're working whole day with the mouse. Yeah, and that's right, Tom. Exact measurement is better. Yeah, that's really the thing. So yeah, cool. So everybody builds its own setup from that perspective, and yeah, it's for me, it's working already for many years very well this way. Okay, so that about making your studio furniture and your setup. So let's open Byte again and checking the chat room. Everybody, welcome. Hello, Centurial DE. Also, he has a nice channel, so check it out. If you are German and you can listen to German, Centurial DE on YouTube. It's a nice channel. Yeah, you could ask also a local carpenter. Some do also ask a local carpenter to build a kind of good build-up. Okay, cool, guys. So, yeah, let's talk about making pads. So, as mentioned in the start of the live stream, I did this with Blue 2 some time ago. And let's make a classic pad sound. And for this, I use our virtual analog B.I.T. Of course, I also could use a Blue 3 or Predator 3 or even Blade. But I thought, yeah, well, because Bit 2 is on its way, why not use Bit now? So I start with the default. And for making a pad sound, you have two options: to use the saw a waveform, or using, and that's the more complicated one, the modulated square waveform. So this is the square waveform. You see here the square waveform, of course. That's for a mellow pad, not the wide basic sound. So what I do on the Jupiter 8 is use pulse width modulation, which is what you also know from Uno 60, PWM they call it, but essentially it's symmetry modulation. The symmetry is this here. So you have a midpoint with a waveform, and essentially if you use then an LFO, you do this. And I have, of course, in oscillator 1, we have the advanced panel, has its own LFO. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I do this symmetry modulation. So I go down here, and I use the LFO, open the amount. That's too fast. And it sounds a little bit like a chorus. So that's the bass, and of course this is one oscillator. And to make it fuller, I use then of course two oscillators. So I will do the same with the second one. Also use square. Also go to the advanced panel. Also pick the symmetry and modulation. Now, and what is, of course, to make it very swirly, it's already swirly, you know, moving, to make it a full sound. I keep both on a different speed. So when I pick this one also on again. Of course, they both are very precise tuning, so I need to detune them to give it a fullness. So I go down with 1 -5 or so, and the other one. So you had the readout here. So I go a little bit oscillator down with 1. Let's try -4, and that one semi +4. So that is the trick. +4 is to go with one oscillator a little bit higher and one oscillator a little bit lower, still keeping then the nice tune. Now you hear already that it's fuller. Of course, this is not a pad, but this is a good basic waveform for it. So the if you go here to the display. Yeah, then of course we don't have yet a filter, so we go this to a filter, and for pad sound I like the 12 dB filter, because 12 dB filter is more mellow with the high frequency. The 24 dB filter is far stronger in cutting off the higher harmonics, but if you cut them off a little bit less, it's more how you mention, more smooth, more silky. So I picked then the type 2, 12 dB. it's too muddy in this keyboard, so I open the keyboard tracking so that then I find the right. Then already starts to get a little bit of a pad sound, but of course the envelope is not good. A pad sound should have a slow attack, so you could go to the amp section. Bit release. Now maybe the octave should be higher, both higher octave. Now already is a pad, it's very dry, but if you play on a Jupiter, it's also the same dryness. Now, what I do with the Jupiter is a little trick to make it stereo. So then I stack sounds and make it left-right. Well, we can do this in two ways. We could say here with the filter routing, sorry, here it is, that we say oscillator split, then goes one oscillator to the left and the other one to the right. So let's do this. Okay, now it's split, but I take then the same filter type. And I pan one filter to the left and the other to the right. So let me listen if I can hear. That's the second one you hear. It's very extreme left-right. And if you have a little bit of difference, that's what I did with the Jupiter. I had the dual mode, so I had two pad sounds, and each had a little bit difference in cutoff frequency, which makes then the sound very stereo. Now, so this is already a little bit more stereo. Then, of course, it finishes off, if you would say, well, let's stay to a Jupiter sound. I don't use then chorus because the Jupiter 8 has no chorus. Only take a little bit of a delay. Maybe the octaves could be maybe one lower. Then you have also, maybe still keep this one, yeah. So then you have already a very nice pad, only with a little bit delay. And of course, you could decide to make it maybe more softer. So this is more soft. Or more bright pad. So I would call this one save preset as JP pad type 1. So I call this type 1. More delay. And then the right, left, different timing maybe 1/4 dotted. Yeah, we also could give it a little bit vibrato. That's also something which you could do. We have a free LFO here. And if we then give the oscillator 2, so we pick the free LFO. Oscillator 2, fine tune. And it's only that one. So that makes, because the right side is a little bit more vibrato, and so also could give it a little bit basic. A little bit basic, so little details. So this is type 1. So I save this one. Save preset, GP type 1. Then of course in the manager I should give it a, because of this maybe, so that's pretty nice already. A little bit of FX. Yeah. Maybe then what we could do is, of course, the modulation we could address to make the filter go open. So I pulled it 33%. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so this is type 1. So that's a nice basic Jupiter type of pad. Somebody's asking, can I recreate it on Blue or Predator? Yeah, definitely. This one is also possible on both of these synthesizers. So I will make this one downloadable. Then, of course, we can go over the top and do even some unison, which is here, where we then double the voices. You see that it's unison, doubles so if you play one voice, it plays two voices. So this is more, this one gets even more swirly. So I would call this one save preset as type 2. I make them both downloadable for you guys. So that's maybe a good challenge to say, okay, let's do this same with Predator 3. Okay, let's go to Predator 3. Add instrument track. Here we go. Okay, shut down this one. Now, here we go to a default preset. Why is there no default in my own bank? Okay. File. New preset. Okay. Here they do the same thing. We go for the square waveform. And with the symmetry modulation. But the symmetry modulation is here in the advance. So here you see it as well. So it looks a little bit like Byte. Then we go to the second oscillator. And then I think the fine tune we do already -4 we did with the other one. We go here +4. And here we pick also the square wave. We do also go to the advanced panel. Okay, so I'll go a little bit louder. Okay. Now, this, you see, this is the same start as we have with bit. I go here to also the 12-to-B filters type 2, and in the routing here, I pick also the split, and then I have, okay, then I need to go to oscillator 3, because you see, oscillator 1 goes to filter 1, oscillator 3 goes to filter 2, so here I need to use then oscillator 3 instead of oscillator 2. So here I go back, pick the square, go to the advanced panel, do the symmetry modulation. Let me see. And then what I can do here in the oscillator is pan it to the right, and the other one to the right. And then, of course, I need to pick the filter. So it's a little bit more work because you have far more options in Predator 3 compared to Bit, but the same type of thing should be possible. So I need to go to the volume -3. That's that one, and that is that one. So oscillator 2 is not used because I use in the routing here, you can see oscillator 1 and 2 go to filter 1, and to have left, right, the filter, and it was a little bit different, I need to go now. You see keyboard tracking I open because then the filter moves along if you play the keyboard. Then the next thing what I need to do is, of course, making it a little bit more. You see it starts to getting also already a pad sound. Might be a little bit different. Of course, here also, if you would have then a stereo delay, that makes it not as dry, so it makes it more. Yeah, then we would have the LFO thing going on. So I would pick here, yeah, I also could go here to the free LFO 1, destination, oscillator 3, fine tune. So I make that one a little bit. So it's not fully as I want to have. It's in, I think it's in the, if I go to the advanced page, it's the, let me see what I had with Bit. Oh, that's the wrong one. That one seems to move faster. Okay, type 1. Okay. It's more the filter setting. So I'm checking here in the pitch tuning. So you see, I'm getting close to what I did with B.I.T, but it's of course in the fine tuning. This is the one from B.I.T. And I had down with Unison, that was type 2. And for the original Jupiter, I would say this one is more the original. And of course, then we have the Predator one. Ah, it's pretty close, isn't it? So somebody asked, can you make, I created today is about creating a pet sound with B.I.T. And somebody said, well, can you also create this with Predator 3? I think this one is not bad. Let's see how I have the... So you see the difference, the filter is the left one. I have the panning to the left with oscillator 1, which goes to filter 1. Oscillator 3 goes to filter 2, which is panned to the right. And then you have this little difference in frequency. So cutoff frequency of filter 1 is 1.3 kilohertz, and filter 2 is 1K. So 300 hertz difference, and that makes that it is stereo. So let's save this one. Save preset as GP8. Pat1. Pat RP1. So I'm not sure if I have this name already, so I make the name GP8 Pat RP1. Delay, a little bit more delay. Yeah, that's not bad. And then we can make, of course, a variation where you say, okay, let's put some chorus. And of course, I have the delay on the first slot, but you could also say, but then it's not more of a Jupiter because the Jupiter doesn't have chorus. So if you would say, I add some chorus to it. Then it's essentially getting more the Uno type of sound. So I would keep it as it is now. So then, of course, need to tag it. What I will do, I make this preset available so you can download them for Predator 3. And then you need to drop them. It's a file in a zip. You need to drop them in in the documents, the raw Papen folder, Predator 3 bank folder, and then pick one of the bank folders you would like to drop this preset in. So I would call this a pet sound. It's quite spacey, live, FXY. That's I still need to do. So I always need to do some XY action to it. So what I can do here, I go to the XY and we have the command page here, the button command, and then I can load the preset. I can say preset 1 and 2. And then it already has the setting. So and of course, I can use the modulation wheel to open the filter. That's also something I could do. So then we have, if I open the... So I save this one. Become a nice pad, isn't it? The download, it's in the info section below this YouTube channel. So after the live stream, in the download, if you open the info section below the YouTube, you will find the zip file. And then you unzip it, and you copy this preset in one of your banks. So you need to go to your Explorer or Finder and copy this in the bank folder. And or maybe you already, because you see here, I have my sounds here is already something which I created myself. I also have here my own bank, and that's also what you can do, is to create your own bank here and drop it in one of these. So you also could load it from here, so that you say load preset from here, and then go to the location where you drop the preset. That's also possible. But what is most handy is just simply drag the preset and go to. Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, here you see presets. There you see Predator 3. And here you have in Predator 3, in the document, Predator 3, you will have on your Mac, that will be applications for Papen, Predator 3, and then the bank folder. And then you drop the file in one of the banks you like to have this file. So in this case, you can drop it in, I could drop it in the Rob folder or in my sounds. I think this one I created also. But these are not the standard folders. So that's what you can do. So in the info section for Predator 3, I'll make this one downloadable for you. Oh. It's nice pad sound, yeah. Aftertouch for sweep. Yeah, then you need to address the aftertouch. And so these are the two presets I have created. Oops, Predator 3, and we had the bit one. This was from Byte, and if you want to have this more a Juno pad, you simply shut down one oscillator, because the Juno only has one oscillator, and you throw in the chorus. Of course, then this one should be stereo, so I need to... Then you have more a Juno type of pad sound, because the Juno only has one oscillator. And of course, then to make not a mistake in tuning, because it's only one oscillator used, I need to fine tune back to 0. Otherwise, I have it a little bit detuned. So that's one way to create a pad sounds. Okay, let's see the chat room, if I can see any questions. Twin Peaks, yeah, makes me think of Twin Peaks. That's a good one, because they use also this sound. I think that was more like... I don't know how it was again, but Twin Peaks. Yeah, and what you also can do, what I sometimes do, is that the LFO speed is slower in the lower keyboard range than in the upper keyboard range. Then you select here the keyboard note information. This is note. And then you say that to control the speed of this LFO. So you can fine tune very much. Okay. So the other type of pad sound is by using saw waveform. And that's the other way, which is more like the Selena strings type of thing. So if I go back to the saw, and then you see the pulse width modulation sound already had this swirly thing going on. And the saw is more static. So here I cannot do the symmetry modulation. Therefore, the pad sound, this Jupiter pad sound, is from its base fuller in sound because of the modulation, because of the symmetry modulation. So where's the sound again? GP. So this makes this difference. So this makes that if you use the square waveform modulator, then you already have a fuller sound from the bass. So if you go to the saw wave, you need to do far more things to create a pad type of sound, because the waveform is static. It's more static. Now that's one waveform, and of course I would pick two of them, because picture which you make string sounds. If you listen to real strings, there are many violin players are playing, so you need far more oscillators to simulate the multiple instruments played, the multiple violins played. So now it's too tight, so I do a detuning. -4, and that's my trick. I do always -4 on one, and on the other one a +4. So that the sound is not detuned in general. So we have then, come on baby, use the shift button. Now, you see that now it starts swirling. Now, another thing which you can use is the LFO. So I use the LFO again to make one oscillator also do a little bit of modulation. So Hui, where are you? I'm looking wrong. Free LFO. Let's use oscillator 2, fine tune. Sounds a little bit like a chorus, isn't it? Now it starts again already swirly, so that's good. And then to make it even fuller, I would use then, in this case, unison. And make them left-right. Of course, the envelope I need to address. Yeah, so that starts to sound as something. So now I need to pick the right filter type. I would again pick the 12 dB filter. I take the type 2. And you see, it's less thick than the other one. And of course, you need a little bit of delay to make it. And you could have some basic modulation. Then you have more mellow pads. Yeah, you always can use different fine-tuning. I'm just doing it now. Maybe a bit more. Somebody mentioned -2 and +3. Sure, other options are also possible. Some in dance music, they go very extreme with the detuning. This is done far more a mellow pad. So also here we could do the trick to have 2 filters left-right, but I think this is also not bad because with the spread and unison, you also have this left-right spread. And then we do a little bit of chorus. So this is a nice saw pad, saw type saw pad. So let's save this one as well. Save preset as, and we'll call this saw to saw pad 1. Okay, I need to give it, of course, a and what I need to do is address the modulation wheel, so I could use it here in a negative way, so the modulation wheel that it makes. Should I play happy chords? Yeah. And you see, it's all swirly, so this is more a mellow. But the other thing is that you make more a very brilliant or very bright Solina type of pad sound. So this is very bright. Yeah. So this is then a variation, save preset as, and therefore the saw wave is very good for the Solina type of strings. And I think maybe I should go even one octave higher here with this one. So this is more a Solina type of sound. So this is the version 2. So essentially today we have then, so this one would be a bright one, yeah. And the other one is more not a bright one, so. Yeah, call it spacey, this one. So that about pads today, guys. So these 4 presets. So with B.I.T I have then the presets. So if I go to the manager here, you can see them. It's saw 2, saw pad 1. This one. Saw wave made saw 2, saw pad 2. Very bright one, and we have then the two Jupiter ones, which are the JP pad type 1. And you hear also the difference in character, isn't it? And this one, type 2. And then we had one with the Predator, which is also a Jupiter 8 type. So what I need to check only is then the volume. Oh, that one is good, yeah. So this is more. So a really typical Jupiter sound. So the volume is also nice, so I can make them, upload them after the stream. This pad sound, GP8 pad RP1. And for B.I.T we have the 4 of the other ones. I think in volume they are nice as well. So I'm checking in the mixer, so if I play chords. I think the volume is nice. Yeah, cool. So hopefully, you guys, you liked it. So it was today about making classic analog, virtual analog pad sounds. And then we have 2 demo songs today. We have one from Tom Aldrich and one which is a chill out one from first Byte. So let's first start with Tom Aldrich. I'm not sure what he's using, but it's going to be funky. I'm pretty sure about that. So we're going to play Future Surfing by Tom Aldrich. That was a cool amp, but with the brass. Yeah, Tom, great. Very nice, funky, special, nice mixing. Very cool. I like the very itchy pad sounds in the start, which came in later on. Yeah, and the next demo is by First Byte, which is a chill out track. So very different. So decides to chill out with this evening together with you guys. And he does mention, let me see what... So I put that in a text file. Well, he uses Punch 2, Blue 2, Blade 2, Go 2. The bass, it seems to be a sample, but this could be also a synth he mentions. Everything is from the box, so no own presets. A little bit RP pan, compressor, phaser, that's it. So just a fun track he created, and it's very chill. So we're going to chill out with First Byte, his track. And everybody, thanks for watching. And next week, hopefully, I can show you Bit 2. Stay safe, enjoy creating music, and see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching.